Good day, everyone, and welcome at the one and only Meticulous Moments show. This show has been streaming since 2020, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been joining me on this journey. Every single guest at Meticulous Moments has really imparted their knowledge and experience into this show, and they have just been fabulous. All the followers, thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of the community upliftment and leadership development that we facilitate here. Now, tonight we have a very special guest, and he is Stephen Blea, and he's one of my brothers in the martial arts. He's also a MAM Hall of Fame inductee, and he is also one of my ambassadors. So it's truly an honor to have him here. I had the honor to meet him in person in December, along with so many other legends, and we're going to talk a little bit about his journey and the lessons that he's learned up to this point in time. So without further ado, let's welcome Stephen Blea. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing great. It's great to see you again. This is pretty cool.
It is. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on this interview. And if there's one thing I can say, is that when I met you and Don and Yaki there at the Hall of Fame, it was that I can just sense that you are genuine individuals and you are people who really care about other people. So this audience and the MAM audience would love to hear more about your story, your journey.
Oh, wow. We'd have to begin like 57 years ago when I first got into combat sports when I was at the age of 10. So that was like a journey within itself as a boxer.
Yeah.
And then little by little developed. Then I went boxing the Golden Gloves and the USA Championships, and I got picked to go to an Olympic Training Center as a boxer back in '82. And you wouldn't believe who was in my camp with me.
Tell me.
Remember when Mike Tyson used to be 15 years old?
That's right.
Yeah, him and Joey Gamach just won the National Junior Olympics. And I was in camp at the time with Pernell Whitaker. So, I was in the Gray brothers, and Joey Gamachi's father was there as a coach too. So, and Roosevelt Sanders was the USA Olympic coach. So it was, I learned a lot there. I learned something though. I learned that there are levels to boxing. And I was like, well, especially when I got in the ring with somebody like Sweepy, I said, there's this level and I'm right here. And I've been in camp for 2 whole weeks and I'm not close to that level, And he was younger than me. So I was like, wow. But I said, no, I'm going to go back home, give it a shot. But prior to that, before I went there, though, I was like in the Marine Corps and stuff like that. I enlisted the day after I graduated. So, I woke up with some idiot yelling at me, throwing me out of bed. So I know what, they said I was a Hollywood Marine. There was nothing about Hollywood about the Marine Corps. Tell you about it. That was an experience within itself. So, and what's so cool about it is all these years that I've been coaching, like over 40 years with the amateurs, and I did a couple of pros.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is a lot of my boxers, I've like installed a lot of things that I've learned in life. Some have become in the Marine Corps, some are police officers, some are firefighters, doctors, lawyers.
Wow.
I'm really proud about that. And then,
Yes.
and like with my children, and after, even after I got divorced and everything, and then when I've been with Raylene for the last 18 years coming up, and so I have her family. So if we combine the two families, we got 11, right? But I had a son that passed away when he was 41. He was Dominic. We used to call him Little Cisco. But out of all those 11 children we had 10 of them that were college graduates. So that's, a lot to be proud about as far as being a parent.
Amen.
And then now we have the second generation coming through. I got some of my grandkids in college right now. They're doing really well. I could honestly say I'm blessed. And
Amen.
then the big blessing that I have, though, is, because when I got into boxing, uh, I'm probably the only person in the United States that ever done this.
Yeah.
I was a USA boxing coach. I got to coach two USA teams. But
Yeah.
prior to that, I was an Olympic boxing official. I was an AIBA official, which is very few in between the
Wow.
United States. But I left them in 2004. So I went back to full-time coaching.
Yeah.
And then I worked like for over 20 years with the Denver Police Department as a volunteer coach. And now I'm coaching currently with my nephew's gym, which is Reyes Boxing Gym.
Yeah.
And I'm starting all over. I'm working with little 7 years old up to 21, 22. So it's like keeps me young. But the
Absolutely.
ble- but the biggest blessing I have is that 22 years ago when I quit officiating with USA Boxing in the
Yeah.
amateurs, I said, well, I want to go to the big time pros. So I was like, well, do I want to go with organization? And I always loved that green and gold belt. So I sent my resume to was Don Jose Suleiman. He was alive at the time.
Yeah.
And he told me, you just got to come to a convention and we'll go from there. And I was like, wow, this is cool. And when I got to meet him, it was like me meeting my grandpa. Like he was so he was over there in the corner. I walked in the room. I looked at him. I said, "Oh, he's busy," and I saw him look at me. And then all of a sudden, he walked away from those people, and he came up there and he shook my hand and he hugged me, and he said, "Welcome, Stephen. You're part of our family now." And so, uh,
Wow.
ever
That's an
since then, I've been
incredible moment.
touched. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was a very touching moment. Like even right now, uh, brings tears to my eyes because ever since then I respected him. I used to always call him Papa Jose,
Yeah.
and he opened the doors for me. And like I wouldn't probably be here, probably not even talking to you, if it had been for him and some of my awesome mentors that I had. There's so many, and sadly, a lot of them are not here no more.
Yeah.
It's like my parents and some of my fellow peers, but. What's so crazy is when you were talking about Don and Yaki, like I'm wearing this really cool hat. I got
I
this from
see.
BYB. And the coolest thing about it is this hat. There's no more BYB no more. It's
Yeah.
called BKB now. Mike
Yeah.
Vasquez, they changed the name. But anyways, this hat kind of means something to me because
Amen.
this was how the first time I met Don. They did some bare knuckle fights in Denver. And
Yeah.
they asked me to work him because I never worked bare knuckle in my life. So I said, and what's so funny is I got on the phone. I called Bill Clancy up because me and Bill worked a lot overseas. And I said, Bill, I have a problem. He goes, what's the problem? I go, dude, I'm going to do some bare knuckle fights. I'm kind of stuck on a couple of things.
Yeah.
I go, what is this dirty fighting thing? And he started laughing at me. He goes, Steven, all you got to do is let them fight. And if they're not holding on too long, let it go.
Yeah.
I said, that's it. He goes, that's it. He goes, you shouldn't have a problem. Why are you bothering me? And so it was so funny. So I'm at the fights, and then all of a sudden, I see this guy. He comes up to me, and I look at him, and I didn't know because I had never met Don before. I've
Yeah.
seen him when I go back and I think about all the fights I've been to, and I've seen these photographers, and I said, man, here's this guy. I know him, but I don't know of him.
Yeah.
And he comes up to me, he goes, hey, Stephen, how you doing? And I looked at him, I said, I was kind of like, who's this guy? And I said, I'm doing great. And he put his hand, shook his hand. He says, well, I'm Don. And I said, and goes, yeah, we're going to be inducted into the National Hall of Fame together. And I looked and I said, oh, you're Don McGuire. And he looked at me like a surprised look like this yo-yo don't even know who I am. So, I was like, wow, but ever since then, how you have a feeling when you meet somebody.
Yeah.
And I tell them, well, we'll keep in touch. And, I'll see you next April. Or I can't remember exactly when it was.
Yeah.
And then he called me and we started talking on the phone. And we kept talking back and forth. It was like two old friends that, like we knew each other for years.
That's right.
And then what's so crazy is when I went to the ceremony, you know, I seen him there and I was surprised. But I did a lot of research on this guy. I said, he thinks I'm a knucklehead or something, but I'm going to do research because I want to know more about Don besides the photographer. So I did, I got a few of my friends say, hey, man, tell me about this Don McGregor. And they said, well, Steve, they gave me all the insight. I say, hey, man, this guy is pretty cool. I kind of like him because he's got a real giving heart. It is, he does a lot, under the, behind the scenes.
That's
He's one
right.
of those guys that doesn't go and brag about what he does. I say, man, this is my guy. I like this guy. I love him already as a brother. So we go to the thing at the event, and this was what really made my day, because as I worked for the last over 12 years, I've worked as a WBC Cares ambassador, me and Raylene, and we do a lot of real cool stuff back here.
Yeah.
Like back home, we do benefits for cancer. Some of our friends, like their daughter had cancer. We had boxing shows, gave them the whole gate, everything. We've had boxing clubs.
Yeah.
We've had kids that went to surgeries. We've helped Naomi Vasquez with when her mother passed away. Matter of fact, it was like 12 years ago to this day, I think, or yesterday was the anniversary. And she had to, find monies for the funeral costs and all that.
That's
So we
right.
sent her some money. But all these cool things, and this is what inspired me about Don Jose Suleiman, because him, Jill Diamond, Christina Manzar Suleiman, Mauricio's wife,
Yeah.
I mean, this board is like, boom, tight knit, beautiful family. So, I surprised him because I usually get to go and people that have done a lot in the community, like coaches, some
Mhm.
boxers, and I go and I surprised them, like you guys surprised at our ceremony with the medal,
Oh,
because
that was so awesome. I was so happy. Thank you
you
so
know
much.
that medal symbolizes of the person that you are, the green and the gold and
Thank
the
you.
ribbon, because of your kindness and your gratitude that you give to the community. And that's what it stands for. That you're basically a humanitarian, and that's what we look for was people that that don't get the recognition that they should and that they
Thank you.
deserve it. I mean, if I had $1 million, I'd say, hey, Juanita, keep this going because this is worth it. But
Thank
as
you.
a personal message from me, but anyways, long story short, let's go back. So Knucklehead, I went up to him, and Bill Clancy was standing there. Marianne, Michelle Chong, you probably heard a lot of these names.
Yeah.
Shally Williams, and Michael Spinks was there also.
Oh my
And I went,
goodness.
yeah, and I had to laugh because I went up to him. I said, man, you know what? I did a lot of research on you. And he looked at me, what? What did I do? I said, I don't know. I think you're not a very good person or something. And he looked at me, goes, what? What? His mouth dropped. And he looked at me like, I said, like, no, you can't fight me because you'll get put to sleep. And he started laughing. He goes, you're crazy, man. I knew you was a crazy brother. And I said, well, I have something for you because you know what? You're one hell of a man. Man, when I put that medal on him, oh my God, I thought he was going to cry right there. I said, man, don't be crying. You're not supposed to cry. This is supposed to be a nice moment, not a sissy moment.
Well, I
But,
almost cried when that happened to me. I was like so shocked, and surprised at the same time. So I know what he was going through.
yeah, but you're different. You're a queen. You could cry, you could laugh, you could do what you want. But it's a guy thing. You're not supposed to cry. Boxers don't cry, which is a lie because I've cried so many times.
Yeah, we do. We do. I
You know,
have a special surprise for you.
you
So I'm
do.
I'm gonna yes, I'm gonna show you what the surprise
Oh,
is.
my special
Yes.
surprise was this beautiful thing.
Oh my goodness, I was so honored to induct you. I'm so happy that you were there and that we could have the honor of putting you in the MAM Hall of Fame. And here's two other amazing people that were there with you. And they wanted to
Oh my,
surprise
oh
you.
my pretty boy even shaved.
Brother.
He looks pretty. Oh, there's my other one.
Oh my
There's my.
God.
Hey, we gotta go take Dom for some pozole. I said because I want to see him get lit up. Look at how clean he
Yeah.
looks. He look pretty,
We have
huh?
to take Juanita with us too.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Right?
If she would have, hey Juanita, if you would have went with us to lunch that day, I don't think you or Kevin would have never forgot that day because it was memorial. Hey, we almost went to where was it? Fort Worth.
Uh-huh.
And because me and Yaki were in the back talking, and Don was supposed to be navigating. And the Uber driver took us for a ride. I said, "Hey, wait a minute! I think we're
Yeah.
going too far." And then we finally, when Yaki goes, I said, "Yaki, I thought you
17
told
miles.
me we walk to this restaurant, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy was taking us somewhere. So we went back and we went to this restaurant. Yaki
Fantastic.
could tell you more about the story because man, it was so funny. Oh, you know who we're missing?
Bill,
We're missing somebody that was with us that day.
who was that?
Tell him,
Andrew.
dog.
Andrew.
Andrew,
Oh,
our boy
greetings,
Andrew.
Oh,
Drew.
Yeah.
Drew. Shout out to
Also,
Drew.
see,
yeah.
now you have the four musketeers.
Uh-huh.
Where's my brother Andrew? Four.
Yeah.
Four, not three,
Four.
four. I want to
Four.
say
Four.
welcome to Yaki and
Hey,
Don,
but
guys.
we moved up in class because we don't have a princess, we have a queen.
Amen. Amen. You know, I want to jump in here real quick because
Oh my God. Here we go. Don't start, knucklehead.
hey, I'm not. I'm gonna have Yaki beat you up, bro.
No, no,
No,
no, no.
me.
I'm too old to do that.
Hey, Yaki, me and you could go into the masters division, okay?
No, we
I
just
said
go
we
and
could go
watch.
in it, but that don't mean we got to fight. We could look at each other and smile.
Oh yes, that's
No,
about it.
yeah. I just want to say something really quick. You know, Yaki has been in my life for quite a while, and Yaki is one of the most beautiful people. So when I got to work with Stephen on a special project, there was a gentleman by the name of Henry Herrera. And I want people, because Stephen always gives everybody credit but himself.
Yes.
So I want everybody to know exactly what Stephen does, because yes, we don't like, credit given to us, but sometimes it's necessary, because especially on a show like this.
Amen.
Well, I was at a meet and greet, and it wasn't even my meet and greet, and I got attacked by the paparazzi and all kinds of stuff. And then this gentleman takes me to the side, away from everybody, and us, the older people in the industry, we don't like when people come and ask us things in front of everybody. It's called protocol. You take me to the side, and you ask me, and you do it professionally. So he did. He said, "Hey, they've been trying for 2 years in California to get Yaki Lopez his world championship heavyweight belt. Would you be willing to help me?" I said, "Bro, all you had to say was Yaki." I said, "That's all you really had to say." I said, "Henry, I don't really know you from a hole in the ground, but if you love Yaki that much, to come up to me and handle the protocol and do it right, then I'm going to help you." So the
Amen.
first thing I did was I reached out to my brother, Mr. Stephen Blea. Let's get it right.
Esteban, Esteban, tell him, Yaki.
Yeah, thank you for. I love you guys for what you do. You guys are good people, not just to me, to everybody in boxing. Boxing is a big family. And now, Juanita, you included. We love you.
Thank you, sir.
But you know what? It was so nice though, because me and Steven, we walk on the same path, just like Yaki does. But this was for our brothers, so we were like, we got to make this happen. Everything that goes forward in life has bumps,
Mhm.
has speed bumps, has, you're going to fall off a curb or two, or, but you keep going. Everybody always asks me, how do you get things done? You just don't stop. You just get it
Right.
done until it's done. And so we ended up, I was supposed to go, but I had to have surgery. And so Stephen went on my behalf to the NABF as a representative for the WBC, but I was supposed to give Yaki the belt.
Mhm.
And I couldn't go because I turn your phone down, whoever that is. But anyway, Stephen went and he said, wow,
What the
my,
heck? Who's this going off?
who,
Mm.
I don't know, but it blow my ears up. But anyway, so what Stephen did for Yaki with Mauricio Solomon, the WBC, and everybody was so beautiful, because we had to go through trials and tribulations to make it happen. But most people
Yes.
are gone before they get their legacy. And this is what I want people to know about Stephen Blea. Not only did he give Yaki his legacy, he's given countless others. And see, that's the thing in this industry that a lot of people won't do, because they would rather do for themselves than to pick others up, to lift others up. Stephen Blea is one of those individuals. And I've never, he doesn't tell the story right in Denver, but, because
Here we
I deal
go.
longer.
Hey, there's my story and there's Don's story. Okay.
Yeah.
I
But
think mine
see,
was more interesting.
but what it
Just
did was, this whole situation, the way the MAM Hall of Fame played out, because me and Yaki are in a couple Hall of Fames together, but we were never inducted. Me and
Yeah.
Steven are in a couple Hall of Fames together, but we got inducted in the Nationals together. But we became the Three Amigos, a family. We became something that
Yeah.
you just can't buy, you can't get it. God has to make it happen. You
Amen.
know, you know, when we were in that lift, see, part of what he told you is people are thieves, but they blame everything on me. But they were the two sitting in the back doing nothing, you know. But I even paid the Lyft driver because he was going to cancel the lift and start over. And then he ended up charging Steven anyway. So if anybody's to get the blame, it's supposed to be Yaki, not me.
But I tell
hey,
Steve, that's only about a mile, less than a mile. And he take us, he take us
he took
for
us.
17 miles. And Steve tell the driver, hey, where we going? Oh, to no, the restaurant is way back now. Oh my God. But that was not my fault. Well, that was my fault because, the way that I communicate, I'm not communicate very well with people, but you know,
It's
Hey,
It's
sorry.
nobody's
Yaki,
fault.
wait.
no problem.
Yaki, you remember this famous line? What we have here is a fire to communicate. Remember the movie Cool Hand Luke?
Yeah.
We're going to have to call Yaki Cool Hand Yaki. Paul
But
Newman's favorite movie.
Oh
one
yeah.
thing that was
Okay, I'm
tremendous.
sorry, Doc. It
Well,
was just so funny, that flashback. Remember?
oh my
Juanita would
my
have loved it.
my grandfather's on here.
Arto, Lamparella,
Oh,
welcome.
love you,
Greetings to
Gramps.
all the warriors.
I'm
He's a,
glad
he's a, he,
Grandpa claims you.
okay. I'll explain this story real quick because a lot of people won't know, because I didn't have a family. Artie Lamparella comes from Billy Costello in the early days of boxing, Randy Commish Gordon. Stephen and Yaki probably know who he is. Um, but Ace Murata, he's from that era, and Billy Costello was really a great part of his life. And him and Randy Commish Gordon, they kind of came up the ranks together. But the thing of it is I was missing my grandfather, the man who mentored me, the man who took me off the street and made me who I am. And I was praying to God to give me another mentor in my life, somebody that would give me the values of an old school gentleman and continue this trait that the generations way before me used to understand. Because in reality, the older people in life live the truest life, because the greatest way to learn history is from them, not from a book.
Right.
Artie, they instill so much knowledge that has been lost in American society and other cultures that, it's great when we can do things like this, because it's Stephen, it's Yaki, it's Artie, it's Randy. You create this parallel in a world, because none of us, only one here that is known for being famous is Yaki Lopez.
No, no,
Yaki,
no, no. Steve, you, Juanita, everybody is famous. Okay?
well, brother,
Hey,
let
but
me.
Everybody knows somebody.
we didn't fight those beasts like you did, Victor
Exactly.
Galendez, Matthew Sadmahammer. Oh my
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
let me
but
go down the list. And you know
yeah,
what?
but
You still one handsome ass matador.
I, I just love the things that I do when I was young, and if I born again, I do the same thing, but I do it in a different way. I be more smarter, especially in boxing. In boxing, I want to be a macho man. See, instead of be like my handlers, they tell me be cool and box. Like when I fight Michael Spinks,
Yeah.
my handlers they tell me no, fight Michael Spinks to the two. Be clever and be smart. And I'm not did it. I just go and try to beat him with power, and he got more power than I. I go down 4 times, or 3 times. But I mean, that's life. And I not
You got
regret
up.
nothing. I get up, and I keep it up. The referee stop. But I'm never give up. I'll try and try you know. So finally, the day come, and I want to do what I used to do when I was young. My mind tell me move to the left, in and outside the side, pivot, and my legs they not respond. So that tell me, Jackie, it's time to quit. And then when I talk to my father tell me, you do the right thing, mijo, because you don't have nothing to prove. You do
Yes.
your best.
Yes.
We proud of you, and hey, no
Amen.
be a stepping stone for nobody.
Mhm.
And I listen, and I'm happy. I'm here.
Amen.
And thank you to you guys, to Don, Steve, uh, uh, Henry,
Mhm.
and Mauricio. I got the bell, and I love it.
You
Just
deserve the belts.
just like I'm a champion. I
Yeah.
You are
fight
a
for the
champion.
championship. I fight for the championship 5 times, but they no wait for me to die and give it to my family. They give it to me. So
Amen. Wow.
thanks for everything you guys do. I love you guys. I love you, Juanita. And I
Thank
hope it's not the last time to do what we do right now. I
Yeah.
love you guys.
We love you, Yaki,
See,
and I
yeah, you
think
see that.
can I speak for you, bro, for a second? Me and
Sure.
Steven, me and Steven love you, bro. Me, me and Steven, it breaks our heart that warriors like you come up and do everything right and create greatness in the sport, and you don't get acknowledged until you're gone. And it breaks our heart because
Mm.
your family suffers all those years that you're gone, all those weeks that you're on the road, all that time that you're in training camp. Why can't the sport give the acknowledgement to the fighters while they're alive. Why do they have to wait until they're gone? And that tears me up, because it's like, to be able to give, for me and Stephen and the WBC, Mauricio Solomon, the NABF, for them to create what they created and to give this man his legacy while he was still alive, you can't put a dollar value on that. You can't put anything on that. And
something's frozen. We'll just wait for it to unfreeze.
who,
There we
me?
go. There we
No.
go.
But the thing of it is, Yaki was so deserving.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you.
you know, people have tried to do what Stephen did. People get mad at me because the man that came up and asked me, and Yaki's going to yell at me in a second here, and Stephen's going to yell at me too. But the man that asked me to get this started, there was like a magazine or the article being written, and he called me and wanted my side of the story. I said, bro, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And he said, Don, come on, you know the story. I said, bro, I was just a facilitator. All I did was make a few phone calls, send a couple emails, and, you know, I don't want to be in this. And see, we're all that way. All three of us, all four of us actually, you know, because when you come up the right way in this industry and you come up for the right purpose in this industry, it's always for the betterment of the person other than yourself. And then when you look at what Stephen's done, and you look at Yaki, two of the greatest people in the sport of boxing came to me and helped me get my brother his world championship heavyweight belt. That doesn't happen. And you know, for his wife to call me and tell me how proud Yaki was, I said, does he even take it off when he showers?
Yaki went to bed with it that night.
Oh boy.
Benno got jealous. Benno got jealous because Yaki went to bed with that belt that night.
I sleep with them.
Honey,
I
you
sleep
have to
with the
take it
belt, you
off.
know.
Yeah, she said, honey, you have to take it off. I'm with you.
I'm not want to take them off. I mean, why? You know,
See?
after 44 years, you know, I'm only see the belt for far away, you know, when somebody fight, or I see the belt close to me, you know, but I got it with me. I have to sleep with the belt, Steve. I have to sleep with the belt, man, you know. I want to take a picture, you know, and send
See,
it to you guys.
I just knew that happened.
At least he doesn't have to pay the belt alimony.
Oh, shucks. He ain't going to get divorced from no belts, okay? That's going to go with him all the way to when, you know, past, you know, Gabriella's going to take control of that belt.
Oh, yeah.
And Benno's going to say, here, he thought this is from Poppy. You know, Benno's going to be the manager of the belt.
Family.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about why we're all ambassadors for man, me, Yaki, Stephen, and we know the show is for Stephen. And Stephen, I just want to tell you, you know, through all the years that we walked by each other, worked together, but didn't know each other, you know, that night in Denver, when you reffed one of the greatest bare knuckle fights in bare knuckle history, still to this day, not having ever officiated a bare knuckle fight before, how did the 56 years of experience cover you when you stepped into the mighty Trigon? Or was it just an epiphany that got you through that walk and through that fight?
I'll tell you like they say, it was a bloody mess, mate. Bloody mess. Oh God. Tell the
story, bro. Tell the story.
It was one hell of a story to tell. I mean, you had to be there to see it, and you saw it live, Don, so you know what I went through. But like I told you, in my mind, I kept thinking, Steve, you could do this. This is a piece of cake. Plus, it's a smaller ring, you know, and the shape of it's totally different. It's like he went to one side and boom, there's the rope. Go to take 4 steps, you're in the rope. Boom, boom. So that's the most important thing I gotta remember is don't get hit. Because they was throwing some bombs, okay? But like a couple of times in the fight I had to, because the champion got some serious damage and so did the challenger. Yeah, I can't remember exactly how it went, but the challenger got dropped first. He came back, and the champion went down, and then he got cuts. And then later in the fight, he got this hematola, like right at the top of his head. So I said, man, I got to see what the doctor says. And the champion's like, no, don't you stop this. I want to fight. So I brought the doctor in. Doctor looked at him. I think it did a couple of times. And then later in the fight, he got hit in the ear. Then his eardrum was bleeding, right? So I was like, man. And he's like looking at me. No, I'm going to keep my belt. You know, he was basically telling me what he was going to do. And then the doctor was like, he's fine. He's ready. And then this young challenger, this boy had blood and guts. And I ain't never seen nobody that young, so strong, so willing to give it everything he had. And he went and he took it. I mean, I give that kid props because I've been in a few battles where they were like, you know, in these world title fights. I've only seen a few fighters like that where they're going to go in there and they're going to take it. And that boy he's only 21, right, Don?
Yeah. Yeah.
And man, he took it to him. But the champion wasn't about to let him just take it either. So it reminded me of the one fight we were talking about between Gotti and Ward. That's almost like that, but it was bigger in that fight. It was more, how would you say? I would have to say it was more violent because when these dudes are hitting each other with knuckles, totally different. I mean, Yaki, if you would have seen this fight, you would have said, oh my God, Jesus, what are they trying to do? And the only thing that I was there for, the only reason I was there is to make sure nobody died, okay? And and my mentality was, I'm not going to let nobody get seriously hurt because that's my first thing when I get in the ring. Because I've been in the ring where I seen a fighter die. I've even laid a fighter down that was only 18 years old. So I know what it feels like to lose somebody. And he wasn't even my fighter. He came and asked me to work his corner. And Chancho Mercado, I knew him since he was 8 years old. And I took him on a lot of trips with me and his coach. I was there with this is when I was training pros. My champion was Terry Crews. And he came and he goes, hey, coach, can you work my fight tonight? I said, is it okay with Tano, his coach? Tano goes, Steve, you know he loves you. You've been with us forever. Come and work the corner with me. I said, okay. He goes in there. This is how crazy this boxing is when they say it just takes one punch.
Yeah.
He went in there, first round, stops the guy. The doctor's called in to take care of the other guy. So he comes to the corner. He's jumping up and down. He's all excited. So I'm like, okay, let's get his gloves off. I start taking his gloves off outside of the ring. And then all of a sudden he looked at me. I seen that look in his eyes. And the last time I ever saw a look like that was when my little brother died in my arms. Yeah, he was 17. And I saw that look again. I jumped in the ring. I laid this kid down. And he wasn't even my fighter, but it was like seeing my brother again. I mean, I was messed up for a little while. And I'm yelling at the doctor, yelling at Tano, because Tano's looking at his family. They're all like celebrating. And that poor man, his first pro fight, and he passed away. And after they checked everything, they found out that prior to that, him and his brother had been sparring without headgear. So he had a hematoma and it ruptured. And after that fight, I had to go work my fighter's corner. And you know how you're just like in shock. My girl fighter, Terry Crews, says, Coach, are you okay? what happened with that boy? And I just said, we don't know yet. But I said, I think he's gone, which, you know, he was gone. But that was why I said, like, when I get in the ring, I always think about the safety.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. But I don't believe in this, you got to go out on your shield. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And because if that happens, I've seen it really happen.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be, I don't want to be that man. That's why I referee. And that's why I care so much about these boxers. Because I know as a fighter, I know as a coach how much damage, but I've never seen so much damage in bare knuckle.
Yeah.
Like that I can
Yeah.
honestly say was like that. You
You
know, I
know,
mean, you see, back in the days, like when Yaki fought, and there were 15-round fights.
Ooh.
That's why, thank God, the WBC came in and they took away that 15 rounds to 12 because a lot of people don't understand going that extra 3 rounds. Yaki can tell you, you have to
Yeah.
dig deep, and I mean, you're practically almost on the bed death, trying to say, "Let me survive. I only got 9 more minutes," but you want to win, so that's when danger comes in. So as
Yeah.
far as the bare knuckle, I mean, it was crazy, but he survived. They both survived, but the damage was done. But I don't know what else to say about that one because, like I said, I had uh, flashbacks about my little brother because he was 17 and I was 19 at the time, and we were in a car accident on Thanksgiving, and some guy. And 10 minutes prior to that, this is why I always tell everybody, you know what? God has a purpose. God has a plan for every one of us. 10 minutes prior to that accident, me and my brother changed seats. He switched with me. He sat in the front, and I went to the back right behind him. And my cousin was next to me. My brother was driving, my older brother. And I'll be damned. We go around the stop sign, and some guy came, totaled out the car, flipped around. We took a telephone pole out. I'm laying on the street next to him. And, you know, like I told you what it was when I saw him, when I was holding him. That was hard. But so that's why even now, for a while, I was kind of messed up. And then not even a few years back when I had my grandson, he was 17, same age as my little brother. He was my baby because he was born on my birthday. And he had scholarships for track and field because he was a runner, cross country runner. He had a 4.0. I mean, he was everything in his senior year. Then all of a sudden, he decided to check out. He said he went and took his life. And you know, it was hard on my son, his siblings, but you know, everybody's pulling together, getting it right. I have a hard time going visiting him. I used to go with them every night on February 10th. We'd have a vigil, but for the last two, I told my son, I can't go there with you guys anymore because it's too hard for me. I want to go spend time with him, like me and him when we used to talk, and I go watch him play. You know, that's why I always tell everybody, you know what, life is too short. There's too many things in life. If you can help somebody, lift somebody's spirits, you know, it's not all about all the rewards. It's about giving back.
Amen.
There's just so many things, but you know, I just thank God every day. You know, when I wake up, I mean, you know, and I thank God for these awesome friends and new brothers I got. Because you know, when I look at them and I see Yaki and I see the beautiful soul he has, like earlier when I was telling you boxers don't cry,
Thank
I
you.
see my brother over there with tears. And then my
Thank
brother
you.
Don. I know,
Yeah.
but you know what? There ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna tell you
No.
because there's many times, you know what? There's times I take walks by myself and I reflect about a lot of things in life, even if I'm going through health issues. And then when I think about, you know what I think about? I ain't going through nothing when I see what my brother Don has gone through. I always remind myself. I said, man, that's got to be the bravest SOB I have ever met. I said, you know, he's a little badass, you know, excuse my language, but you know, I give
You
him
stop,
props.
you know, and you better keep
And
it
what,
right here.
yeah,
No give up,
and
Senor
Amen.
Maguire,
he,
okay?
I'm,
Never.
I,
hey, if he does, we have to go get him that chili again, Yaki, and light him up.
Right. Oh, yeah. No,
you know,
we have to go
I'm,
But
again, okay?
we
yeah, you
will.
know,
We'll have to take
it,
Juanita and her honey bunny with us.
I
Yeah.
have. I want to say something about the crying because I have someone that in that I know in my life that, and I'm a crier because I am an emotional person. I feel, I'm an empath. I feel people's, and I think it's because I was in the ministry for so long. The Spirit of the Lord just, it speaks to me, and it's almost like when I meet people, I can see right through them. I can see their spirit and their soul, and I cry. If I'm sad, I cry because I feel that washes our soul. It washes our spirit. So I have been taught before, don't cry because, that friend of mine feels like it's a weakness. But I want to say to the audience, if you cry, it's not a weakness. It is God's way of working through those emotions. It's His way of ministering to you through His Spirit. And there's nothing wrong with crying, and there's nothing wrong with expressing how you feel in that moment because that is how God built us. And that doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. And if you feel like crying and you're overwhelmed by a situation, then you cry. Cry it out because it's going to help you in the long run. It's not a weakness. It's how God built us. It's a strength. I know a lot of strong men across the world that I work with in MAM. And there was one particular man that was in my church, and he was a huge person in stature, 6 foot something. And he was, of course, with all the training and, pulling the planes and tearing the phone books and blowing up, all kinds of things at the competitions. He was a huge man in stature. But man, oh man, the first moment I would string that guitar and we would start that worship session in the church, he would be the first to cry. So it's not about, gender or anything. If God's Spirit moves you or if you're going through a bad day, cry, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. You just be you and just know God sees your heart. And that's the important thing. And what I see in this room is a friendship between legends. You guys have all come such a long way. And you've retained that friendship and you've built it into family. And you take that energy out into the world and you make the world a better place. And I commend you because that's what we do through Meticulous and MAM. We want to change the world and make it better. So I thank you so much, all three of you, and Bill and Drew and Nate, everyone that's a part of this, all the MAM and Meticulous Moment people. Keep shining out there. We're cheering for you. That's one thing. What we will always do is support you and we'll cheer for you. We'll be happy for you if something good happens to you because we're here to uplift each other.
amen.
Thank
Amen to
you. Thank
that.
you, Juanita, Steve, Dan. Thanks a lot for what you guys do for me. Thank you, Juanita. Thank you, Steve and Dan. I love you guys with all my heart. And I hope it's not the last time we have to see each other on person. I love you
Amen.
guys with all my
Yaki,
heart.
I love you. You guys don't know, Yaki took time um, away from the youth of his gym to come on the show tonight. And so, Yaki, I'm gonna let you say what you gotta say to Stephen from brother to brother because I know you got to get back to the gym. So
Amen.
No,
go
I'm
ahead.
here in
Go.
the gym.
Oh,
I'm
you're
in
in
the
the.
He's
Oh,
in
gym.
the
I'm in the
gym.
office.
all right.
I'm in
Well,
the
hey,
office, you know.
I was trying to let you get out easy.
No,
Hey, he's not sliding in and sliding out. Now be cool.
no. But I just want to tell Steve, you know, Steve, Steve, thank you
I'm
for
sorry,
what
Yaki.
you do for me. Thank you. That's very nice of you and Dan and Henry, Mauricio. Thank you, Dan, for inviting me to the with Juanita
Yeah.
last year. That's very
Nice.
nice, and I love it. And I hope it's not the last time, Juanita. Okay.
Absolutely. You got it, sir.
Okay.
Absolutely. We got this.
Hey, while
Oh
we're
yeah.
on here, I'm going to say what I got to say since we're all on here. I'm in a lot of pain, and some of you are probably watching, going, "What is this dude tweaking out or whatever?" No, I had my second cervical spine surgery in 7 months. I just they had to take the collar off yesterday because you can see I lost all my neck, and I'm having a hard time holding my head up. But they put rods and plates and all kinds of crap in my back. The collar was supposed to be on for another 4 months, but I've lost so much muscle mass
Mm.
that they have to take it off. So if you see me twitch or whatever, it's just because I don't take narcotics, so I'm in pain. But what I want to say about these two tremendous men, I walked a long time in this industry by myself because when you're successful at what you do, of course, a lot of people ascertain and bring hate, and I don't play that, and I don't live with that, Um, but what I want people to understand is, we work our behinds off to bring entertainment, to bring other aspects, to give to others that don't have, and we ask for nothing in return.
Mhm.
Yaki's a non-for-profit gym. Steven's a non-for-profit. I've given probably 75, 80% of what I've ever made in this entire industry on my entire career back to the sport. What you see in front of you, well, I'll start with Yaki. You see one of the truest form of boxers from the golden era, a true man that started out a matador, started out a bullfighter, and ended up
That's
having
right.
his wife's father teach him to become a fighter, and he became one of the greatest fighters from the golden era, one of the baddest men I know. And Yaki created such a path in life that you can't help but admire him, respect him, and appreciate him.
Mhm.
And then
Thank
then you
you.
got Steve. Oh, you're welcome, my brother. Then you got Stephen, a man who's dedicated almost 57 years of his life to everything, and we'll never brag about it. See, and I'm the same way. And a lot of people get mad at us because even our own friends that have known us for 10, 15 years sometimes, they don't even know what we do because we don't share what we do from our heart. And that's why, I think it's more prevalent to do it now with the world being so wishy-washy because
Mhm.
I see people tearing each other down, but I don't see anybody building anybody.
Mhm.
And these two gentlemen right here are probably two of the greatest people in the industry at building people. You
Yeah.
know, I wouldn't be where I'm at on my walk or any means, even though Steven says he met me 2 years ago. Well, we first time we actually talk was 2 years ago in Denver. But these gentlemen had created a path for me to step on. And that's what life is about, to hand a stone to the next individual so they can put it down and widen their path so they can go on and create their future. That's what these two gentlemen have done. Yaki Lopez has given back. A lot of people don't know about Yaki Lopez's Fat City Gym in Stockton, California, but you need to because what you're going to get there is compassion, love, and respect. Stephen does the same thing. Stephen, why don't you tell them the name of your gym and what you do? Because you guys don't take any money for yourself. You guys give back to the community in tenfold. You guys are non-for-profits. You guys still work your butts off in this industry to give back to the kids, and it's beautiful. So, Stephen, why don't you tell us a little bit about your gym?
Currently, I work at Reyes Boxing Gym. My nephew is mad at me because he wanted me to name it Blair's Gym. I says, no, this is your building. And my nephew was my champion. He used to box for me. And he got outstanding boxer in the Golden Gloves. He was a hell of a fighter. Till he met my niece. What can I say? And I always tease her, and he tells her the same thing. But the bottom line is what really made it special is because he came and asked me to help him Originally, I was just going to go help him like once or twice a week, right? Now I've been running the gym for the last year and a half. And what's so crazy and what's so ironic is his father is the same age as me. Matter of fact, yesterday was his birthday. But sadly, we had to celebrate his birthday, heavenly birthday, because he passed away unexpectedly. And Mr. Reyes, he was so cool because with my nephew's businesses, it's flooring, carpet, and wood floors, tile floors. And his dad used to work there too. But his dad would always come to the gym, talk to me, we talk, he'd tell me about my nephews, especially I got a couple of them that you see my his granddaughter, the one that just got all the college scholarships for basketball. That's that family. And then besides the dad and then the two brothers, but one of them I want to get in the gym is Ian. And he's just like his dad. He's identical. 6 foot. Guess how much this boy is? 6 foot, Yaki. 6'1". He weighs 152 pounds. And he got fists bigger than yours, Yaki. But I got to get him in the gym because I want to keep him out of trouble.
Yeah.
He's only 15. And, he has so much potential. But anyways, what I do in my gym and with my partner, I forgot to even mention him earlier. Besides me and Raylene doing WBC care stuff, I had a partner that I work with him in Longmont Boxing Gym. And man, he's like, I call him my eagle. And he's Raul. He's the same age as my son's, like 45, 46. And he's helped me put on a lot of these shows. Every one of these shows that we've done, we've given back to the community. If it wasn't for Raul, I don't know where I would be. Even with Golden Gloves, Raul, we go, we help, we run it. But all the other programs that are here in Colorado, like our WBC care events, now we have the Clito Reyes tournaments, and with Elizabeth and Guillermo and Mike, and then, Don Alberto when he was alive. People don't realize that these guys are true humanitarians because they've always wanted to give back to the kids.
Right.
And the boxers, just like Mauricio. Mauricio is following his father's footsteps and the board about giving back because this was the funniest thing that I had to do, and I'll tell you this and I'll keep it short. When they first came to me about Yaki, I was like, what? What belt? I was like, what are they talking about? And they said, well, he was supposed to get a belt. I said, well, how long ago was that? I think somebody told me it was like 6 months or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. I know it was a while back. And I was like, well, did he ever get the belt? And they said no. I said, well, before I could ask for anything, because anytime I ask the WBC, like we need funds for a cancer victim or anything, I sent an email, I swear to God, to you, when Don Jose was alive, and even Mauricio to this day. Not even a week later, they get back to me, Stephen, we'll send a check, or we'll do this, we'll do that. They don't play. They know everything that we do is legit and it's on the money. So I'm like, well, if I got to find Yaki's belt, who said he was going to get a belt, right? I'm asking all these questions. And they were telling me all these different names, so-and-so, so-and-so. I said, well, dang, I got to go find the belt first. So I sent an email straight to Mauricio. Mauricio, I hate to bother you, but I have a really serious problem. I said, one of our former awesome fighters, I grew up watching him. I said, Mr. Yaki Lopez, I said, you were supposed to be getting a belt, right? That's what I heard. I don't know. Is it true or not? No sooner did I send the email, he calls me. He didn't even send me an email. He's Steven. You mean Yaki hasn't got his belt? I was like laughing. I said, that's why I'm calling you, Mauricio. He goes, let me find the belt. Let me find out what happened. He goes, because it should have been sent out, right? Guess where that belt was, Juanita? You would never guess in a million years.
No, where was it?
It was still in the WBC office.
In the desk. Sitting in a drawer.
boy.
They
Gathering dust.
forgot. They didn't. Well, what happened is because the people that were supposed to initiate it never
Yeah.
got back and said, "Hey, send it here.
Oh,
Here's where you send it."
God.
So Mauricio goes, "Well, how do you want to do this?" I said, "Well, I think," and that's when I was going back and forth with Don. And I said, "Well, Don, you know what? Let me see what I could do." Because, they were having a Hall of Fame in Las Vegas at the same time. Then we're going to have our NABF in San Antonio convention. So I said, well, before we could go to San Antonio, we have to go through the ranks because we had to go through Dwayne Ford because he's the president of the NABF. So I CC'd him, CC'd Mauricio. I don't know how many emails we had, but they finally said, hey, if you could get him here, we'll take care of it. And Mauricio was going to come and present it to him. But sadly, Mauricio lost his mother, so he didn't get to come. So
Condolences.
he still made sure that belt he got there. And
Yeah,
when it got there to San Antonio. And so I had to get a hold of Yaki and Benno. And Benno, oh man, I love that woman because she reminds me of my Raylene. When she's taking care of business, they take care of business. And so we went back and forth. And Don was supposed to come, but Don was having issues. So anyways, long story short, we got the belt there. Dwayne Ford, they do it. Well, who's going to present the belt to him? I said, well, if you want me to, I'll do it. I said, because Don was supposed to come. So then they go, well, you got to keep it short. They told me I could only have 2 minutes. And I'm like, man, we talking about a legend here. I said, it'll take 2 minutes just to pull the paper out with this record.
Yeah, right?
I made.
Yeah. And so I said, yeah, so I had to laugh because I go, well, I'll take care of it and just give me the time and I'll do it. I didn't tell them what I was going to say or what we were going to do. I just said, don't worry, we'll take care of it. Lo and behold, before it got done, though, Dwayne, after, I talked about Yaki, we brought Yaki up there. It was so cool. He presented him the belt, so that was good. But then after that, Yaki got swamped because everybody that knew that, like, older than me and my age, they were like, when they seen Yaki, they thought they were looking at he's a legend. That's all I can say. Everybody want to take pictures, autographs.
Thank
I
you
say,
to
well,
you guys,
Yaki, you got your belt, so I guess I'll see you later because I ain't going to get to see you. Lo and behold, he goes and he grabs him. Steven, you get over here. Bring Raylene over here. Me and you, Benno, and Gabrielle are going to take pictures. So I said, no, this is your day, not my day. But that to me is what WBC cares and what I love about it. And like I said, I have a partner, and that's Raul Utara and his sons. I call them my little ninjas because, man, without those guys, Alex and Caesar, dude, there's times we go do shows and just us three or maybe a couple of guys are setting the whole venue up, the ring, everything. But the show must go on,
Amen.
And
thanks again.
we do what we got to do.
Thanks a lot, Steve. You do a great job. When you present
it's because
my
you're a
bell and
legend.
everything.
It was my pleasure.
No, thanks to you, to Dan, Henry, Juanita. I love you guys. And
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
see you guys soon.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And we got to send.
know
we got
what?
to send props to Henry too, because Henry did a lot of this too.
Yeah.
That's right.
But we got it done, and
And we have to take Juanita to eat menudo.
Oh yeah.
Right?
No. Juanita's gonna be like Dawn. They're gonna like pozole. I said.
Oh yeah, probably. No.
Me and you will eat the menudo because they ain't sliding that. They ain't sliding that
Come on.
panza in them.
Man, don't be a pendejo, bro. Don't be a pendejo. I'm gonna tell a real quick story here because these two characters.
Do you remember? Wait, let me say this real quick. Don I always tease Don because I tell Don, I said, Don, you know what your roots are? And he said, yeah, I know my roots. I said, well, I know mine. Mine are Apache, Mexican, and Spanish. And all you got is a little un poquito Cherokee. But he thinks he's a warrior.
Poquito, a little bit. No, he got
Look at him. I look, see that beautiful smile, that look he has? He's like, wait till I get a hold of you, Stephen. No, but
he
I got mess with him.
I just want to say something.
If we don't keep him going, he's not going to keep on doing what he's doing because
I know.
when he's pretty soon, Juanita's going to be she's already the queen, but she's going to take over all the interviews.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I don't appreciate that because I do interviews.
I love
No,
you guys.
you got to let the queen have her due. For now, you're just the king, okay? Queen always takes control. Yeah.
I love you
You got
guys.
queens at home?
I love you, Yaki. I love you,
Okay,
brother.
I love you guys and see you guys soon.
All right,
See you
Yaki. Hold on. Don't
next
leave yet, Yaki. Don't leave yet. I want to say one quick thing about these two characters. Okay. I'm on to almost my 42nd year. And that's what I was going to say. Fernando, thank you. You know, I'm almost on my 42nd year across almost 5 different genres in the industry. But these two gentlemen right here, you know, I can't speak for them, but I could speak for myself because I'm the lowest man on the totem pole in the industry. You know, I'm a photographer. Even the bell ringer gets more credit than I do.
You're the lowest man, but the biggest mouth. You talk and talk. I love you, brother.
I don't love you no more. Come on. Oh, but anyway.
Hey, that's why he has his blogs and his interviews, Yaki. Because he can talk.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. We got to play.
The bottom line is we have fun on here, but the bottom line, at the end of the day, each one of us would rip an arm off for each other.
Yeah.
You know, I want to say something because I don't generally let part of my life out there. Okay. Yes, I did just go through my 255th surgery, and I dropped all the way down to 118 pounds. And me and Stephen were talking, and the doctors didn't really know because most of the energy drinks or healthy drinks are garbage. They're not real. They're just crap. And so we did find this stuff called muscle milk, but out here it's almost like $7 a bottle. And even though I was a little upset with Stephen at first, because I don't like people telling other people my hardships, but we're family, we're blood, we're not just brothers, we're blood. Mm-hmm. And one day I came home and there was muscle milk on my porch that had been delivered, and I didn't know who it came from. And then the next day there was another one, and altogether there was 4 of them. And come to find out that Henry, Yaki, and Bino and other parts of their family all sent muscle milk to me because they were all worried about me. I was given a 3% chance of making it out of this last surgery. Even when my caseworker was here today, they said that if I fall or if I get hit, that I'll be paralyzed from the neck down if I even live. So, you know, it's kind of weird, you know, getting used to not having my muscles in my neck and trying to control my head from wobbling back and forth. But if it wasn't for the compassion and the love that these two people emanate, I mean, they didn't have to communicate with each other and say, hey, Don's not doing that great. Don, you know, he's down to nothing. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then you even go back to the MAM Hall of Fame. Stephen got my coffee. Yaki wouldn't even let me get up and get my own plate of food. This is what this is what, no, I'm being serious, bro. This is what I love. See, this is a part of the sport that not everybody gets to see. You know, we really do take care of each other. We might joke on the show and have a little blast with each other, and Yaki always gives me crap about eating the chili and the pozole, but at the end of the day, we would die. We would die for each other.
Yeah.
We really. Oh man, come on! Don't be a mariposa.
Muy picoso.
It's getting hot, Yaki. It's getting hot.
So I remember that. You go like that.
Yeah, there you go. It was hot, but you know what I'm trying to get at is, you know, see, I thrive from the respect from my brothers. You know,
Yeah.
you know, I could have very easily gave up on life and walked away and just said, I'm not going to take a 3% chance of living. I'm just not going to let you operate on me. You know, but you know what? At the end of the day, I have to put my faith and my trust in our Lord and Savior, and I did, and even a lot of people ask me what was going through your head while they were putting you out, knowing that you only had a 3% chance to live, and they said you were probably going to be paralyzed no matter what. I can't explain. All I know is that Yaki, Henry, Bino, Stephen, they all lifted me up. They all checked in on me. And see, this is how much I love these guys, because I could talk to Stephen about it, but I love Yaki so much, and I know Yaki loves me, and his entire family is just beautiful. I couldn't talk to Yaki after surgery. I couldn't talk to Yaki when I was hurting. And it wasn't because I didn't want to, it was because Yaki is such a beautiful soul that when he knows one of his brothers or sisters is hurting, then it hurts him. And I didn't want to hurt my brother. I didn't want my brother to hear me sound so terrible. I didn't want him to hear the pain that I was going through, because I love him so much. You know, you really don't understand, Juanita. I know you understand other people and aspects in your life, but for a gentleman in this industry of almost 42 years, this doesn't happen. This
is special. We bond.
Well, because generally in just regular life, if you have more friends than you can have on one hand, and I use this hand because I'm missing a finger, then you have too many friends. And two of my friends are sitting right here.
Yeah.
And they're two of the most beautiful men I've ever met. They're the most selfless people I've ever met. They're willing to do anything for anybody. They bend over backwards for everybody, and they don't ask for anything in return.
That's
You know, all I ever hear is Stephen talk about his beautiful wife, Ramblin' Ralph, his family. Yaki's the same. You know, see, people don't understand that when you work in this industry, 40 weeks is a long time to be away from family.
Yeah.
You know, a 6-8 week fight camp is a long time away from family. You know, so we don't get to cherish these types of moments very often. Even though we're brothers in life, this doesn't happen for us. I mean, because we're all leading our life, taking care of things. Not to say that, you know, we don't talk to each other, because Yaki and Stephen call me all the time, but we're so busy focusing on the youth and other aspects of the sport that we don't even have time to think about ourselves. We don't even have time to take care of ourselves. But you look at Yaki, you know, he has a daughter. You met her, Gabriella, one of the most beautiful girls in the world.
Beautiful.
But that's Yaki and Bino's world. And that's what I love most about Yaki, because it's not about what he's accomplished. It's not about friends or the clout. Yaki, let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
how has Gabriella impacted yours and Bino's life, brother?
Oh, she keeps us alive. If it's not for Gabriela, we not be here. We have to. Gabriela give us the strength, to live, to do something. We go to bed. When we wake up, oh, thanks God for be here. And Gabriela wake up sometimes, and he go and tease me, and I say, "Oh, you up me, huh?" And she not talk, but she, sign on, and we get him ready for school and everything, and that's my baby. I mean,
Life.
we do anything for her.
I'm going to
That's it.
share. I'm going to share something, Yaki, and I hope you don't get mad at me because I think it's relevant that people know. When Yaki and Bino first wanted to have Gabrielle in their life, I'm not going to mention any names or point any fingers or say anything, but I'm just going to show you how cruel the world is and how cruel people are. There was people in their lives that said, if you adopt Gabriella, then we can't do this anymore. You can't go with us. You can't hang around. That's bullcrap.
Amen to that.
And you know what? So Yaki lost aspects of his life to bring Gabriella into his life. And Yaki, I love you for that because you know what? You did the smartest thing.
Amen.
You did the most lovely thing, and you did bro.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't respect you any more than I do right now. Because you know what? If somebody told me if I adopted a child or brought a child into my life, they would no longer be my friends, I don't know how I would have handled the situation. But you're not just a champ in the ring. You're a champ in life, brother. And they don't come any more
Thank
real
you.
than you or Stephen. Let's jump to Stephen real quick because he's not going to really. I'll say I'll take the grunt for it later. But you know what?
We're gonna have some more hot chili.
No, but we're legends in this sport for a reason, but we
That's
don't
right.
share it, and we don't share it. Stephen,
Yeah.
hit me up, and we're talking about that big fighter in this gym, and I keep gloves and stuff around for people who can't afford it and just stuff like that. But I'm not going to say no names, but we were going to your Hall of Fame, and I told Steve, and he was telling me about this big kid. He's, man, I can't get the kid's hands are huge. I said, well, I got gloves. What size does he wear? And so I brought gloves with me to Houston or to Dallas.
Yeah.
And this is what we do, because, a lot of people can't afford things. People don't want to realize that there's parents who collect welfare checks and don't even feed their kids. The only meals these kids are going to get are at school. The parents take their welfare checks and go buy drugs. They don't put clothes on their kids. They don't feed them. But these two men do. I want people to know this because you don't create a 401(c) or a non-for-profit because you're trying to get something in your pockets. These gentlemen deserve more credit than I or anybody else in this industry could give them. Because if you dedicate your life to like Gabriella, which is his daughter, but he does that for anybody. And so does Stephen. These two men right here have two of the biggest hearts I've ever seen out of anybody, but you'll never hear them speak about it. And that's the beautiful part of it. My grandfather taught me when you share, it's better to be relished in your heart than it is to put it on like social media. You see these people, a lady fell on the ground, they film it and they go out to jump on social media and brag about it. Well, you just ruin the moment.
Exactly.
Life is about helping people, but not letting anybody know.
That's right.
And these two gentlemen right here, I'm so fortunate and so blessed to have these two men as brothers. Even though he's a cochino and he's just a great man.
Hey, he was pointing at you, Yaki.
I get even.
Okay.
Well, that's why all three of you are exactly what God wants in, and that's why you're MAM ambassadors in the MAM group and with Meticulous, because what do we bring? We bring upliftment. And I don't know if you guys know this, but MAM is also a nonprofit. I opened my nonprofit in 2013, and I
Oh,
used it
awesome.
in the years in ministry to help a lot of churches and a lot of communities. And when I started MAM, I said, MAM is going to stay a nonprofit. It's always been one. And that's why when all of this came together, when I saw God weaving this together, I knew something special was happening. And Stephen mentioned something about the WBC working with the cancer patients. I had horrible news this week coming through from one of our ambassadors, your fellow ambassador in Australia. His little son was just diagnosed with cancer. And my mom passed away from cancer, as you guys know. So let us keep on shining that light. And what I really appreciate about every single person in this room is you guys are making so many amazing big strides behind the scenes just to bring that future to people, to build that foundation to people, to shine that light, to be the salt of the earth and the light of the world. So I commend each and every one of you, and I thank you for being a part of my journey, because I'm the blessed one here. I'm the one that's been blessed here with all that I see, the love between brothers and all the things that you do out there. So I want to thank you guys so
You
much.
know, there was one thing that I could tell you that just even today that just happened because when we reach out to other people and we shine that light, we pass it forward.
Amen.
I just recently had a boxer of mine. She was one of my girl champions, and she now works with. She's a child advocate, right? And she told me today, and it was pretty sad because she was telling me about one of the kids that when she was a teacher, he's 14 years old. He had a little brother that was 12. He had cancer and he just passed away. And she goes, "But coach, I want to help this kid. What can I do for him?" And then she was like, I go, "Well, what does this kid do? The older brother, because he's getting lost." She goes, "Well, he's really good with the guitar. He likes to sing. And he used to sing to his brother and he'd go to the hospital, during all this time." And she goes, "But now that his brother had passed, he seems like he's lost." So she goes to me, "Well, do you know anybody that could even try to get a guitar for this little boy?"
Yeah.
I said, "Nicole, all you have to do is come to the gym and I'll bring you my guitar. You could give it to him." And I started laughing because she goes, "I never knew. I thought you were just all boxing." I didn't know you was trying to play the guitar. I said, "Nicole, there's a lot of things people don't know I do." I said, "But you come, I have the guitar. You could give it to this boy because you know what? If it'll lift that little boy's spirits and he could continue instead of going the other path, because he was getting really, violent. Because, some people, when somebody dies, they either take it hard, they're hating on God, they're hating on life. I said, let him get inspired about what he did positive with his brother. If he sang to him, he played the guitar for him. I said, do this. I said, because you brought this to light to me because you didn't have to do that because you care. Because you were a teacher and you care." And I said, "So when you care, other people will care." I said, "So now get your butt to my gym. I'll bring the guitar." And that was my cool thing that happened to me today because
That's wonderful.
And then when you're just talking about the cancer with our fellow inductee and his son, I'll be sending prayers for him because you know what? If they find it early, there's always that chance. But I've always learned that when you give back, no matter who it is, young, old, one day God's going to reward us or reward them with a blessing. And that's what we're here for.
Amen.
Like Muhammad Ali used to say, the rent that we do unto others is what God wants us here for.
Absolutely.
And, he was a great man too.
That's
And
right.
That's why you
Legend.
can't never lose faith in God.
Never.
No. Well, I want to say one thing because I got to be on another show in 30 minutes. But my wife goes, "You're getting popular." I have 3 other podcasts to do tonight, and then I have my own to do tomorrow. But I want to say something about the MAM Hall of Fame. And these two gentlemen will, either call me a liar or agree with me. But
This is truth, brother. This is truth.
I actually enjoyed the MAM Hall of Fame more than I did the National Boxing Hall of Fame. And the reason I can speak for myself, the reason I enjoyed it was because what you did, Juanita, was beautiful. You built a hybrid Hall of Fame with combatants from all over, all different genres. And we didn't have to deal with, the autograph towns, people bugging us. We were able to sit there with people that we knew and people that we didn't know and get to know each other and sit and have dinner and relax. And like I said earlier, Stephen got me coffee and my leg was hurting because I'm an amputee, and Yaki got my dinner. But it was just a beautiful event. And I remember the next day, I talked to both Yaki and Stephen, and we all felt the same. It was just a beautiful, beautiful, well put together, well presented Hall of Fame. It just really was. And what I think was really super special about it was everybody, even though we came from different genres, we all gelled together. Everybody from the Viking from Game of Thrones to Tang Po from Kickboxer to you doing your flip. Everything was freaking incredible.
That flip was the highlight, boy. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Did I just see what I saw? I was like, damn, give her a movie contract now. That's my action star woman. Let's go, Queen, get it.
And I'll speak for myself. The food was tremendous because,
it was way better than.
And I'm not going to disrespect anybody because I speak the truth. And it's like, I didn't even get to eat at the National Boxing Hall of Fame because that hotel or wherever it was that did it, they only gave you one meal. You didn't get a choice. And me and Jimmy Finn from Ireland, we looked at each other. I said, I'm not eating that crap. He said, I'm not eating that crap. But when we went to your Hall of Fame and then Yaki brought my plate back, I was like, there's like 4 or 5 different kinds of meat. There's all kinds of vegetables and rice. And then you talk about the desserts. It was just beautiful. It was a tremendous job. And I'll be honest with you, it's my favorite Hall of Fame. And
you're lucky that I give you the right plate and the right food. Right?
That was Yaki's plate. You just grab it.
I give you my plate, and so.
Hey, at least it didn't have no chile. I wasn't going.
No, I would have put some chile on it.
But
boy,
what I really want to do before we kind of wrap things up is, Juanita, what you did this last year in Denver. Denver. I get Denver on the mind. Well, because it's
thank you.
BYB 37 Denver. But in Dallas, you didn't have to do what you did. And you created a path for all of us. And what you did was create a path for me and Stephen, especially because we're in Hall of Fame, some of the same Hall of Fames as Yaki, but we never been inducted at the same time with him. And you allowing that to happen, we got to walk into history with one of the greatest boxers in boxing history. And that meant the world to me. There was nothing more in my life than I wanted to go into the Hall of Fame with Yaki and Stephen. That's the truth. Because even Stephen
was my pleasure. It's my pleasure to be inducted with you guys in Dallas, Texas, with Juanita. Yay. Thank you, Juanita.
Thank you, sir.
It was totally awesome, mates. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you very much. It really means a lot.
No, thank you to you guys. And I love you guys. And there be some other time.
Don't say bye yet. No. We're not done yet.
Bro, I gotta be on another show.
Un momento. Hey, didn't you tell me this was supposed to be my show?
What's that?
Wasn't this supposed to be about Stephen Blea? Oh,
It is about Stephen Blea.
Juanita, I've
Yes.
shared the stage with them any day. But let me tell you one thing about what I loved about everything about it was awesome. And if I remember right, if you remember when I was gonna, because there was a young man, Krishna Wainwright, when I sent you the text message that he wanted to come because he didn't live too far from Dallas, but he couldn't make it. But this kid, I knew this kid from way back, and his coach Santiago, he was an Olympic coach, and this kid got a scholarship for martial arts, and then he went to the army and he started boxing for the army too. But I told Krishna, I said, Krishna, I'm gonna see what this all entails. I said, because you know what? After I left there, my mind was Krishna Wainwright belongs in the next Meticulous Hall of Fame.
This year,
Because
absolutely.
and he was like, why would you do that for me? I said, because you know what? You did it for yourself because of what you've done. Just like everything that everybody that was there, all their careers, and then to see some of these legends. And then when I was going, me and Don and Yaki, we were watching the demonstrations. And I even have some clips of your son. Now that's gonna be a hell of a little warrior there, boy. I was like, whoa. I said, this little boy is bad. You know, I was like, I'd be a proud mommy, daddy, whatever, because that little boy, he knows his stuff.
Thank you very much.
I just thank you and everybody on the board and with meeting Kevin and everybody. It was an honor to be there, especially with my partners in crime. I'm not talking about you, Don.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
I know. I gotta, you know me, I'm gonna leave you because you gotta go podcast. Hey, Yaki, like you said, he talked too much. He talked too much. But anyways, I appreciate everything and I appreciate your time. Like I said, you're our queen. If there's anything we could do for you. And by the way, my granddaughter was so thrilled with her little medal, that little medal, because I told her and she goes, oh my God, Grandpa, this is real gold? I said, yeah, because I got it from the queen. She goes, oh, and then when I showed her some of the video where you're doing that, she goes, oh my God, Grandpa, she's awesome.
Please send the granddaughter a hug from me and tell her she's a little warrior princess. We are going to induct her one day. Yes, that is
that's my little, she started boxing with me like she was 4 or 5. Now she's 7.
Warrior. Wow.
But these guys, I love you guys to the world and back. You're like my brothers from another mama. And you give Benno a big old hug and Gabriella. And
I will.
Don, Terry, got to give you the biggest hug because she wants up a lot with you.
If you bang that table one more time, I'm coming to Denver.
Hey, but you know what? You look so pretty because now you're clean and shaved. Hey, you're a handsome young man. I got to say that. Look at him, Yaki. Don't he look pretty? You're almost so pretty. You look like me and you.
No.
Hey, you know, before we go, I'll tell you what, that collar was the most, because they don't let you take those things off. You have to sleep with them. You have to everything. And I showed Stephen, but okay, it ripped all of the hair because you can't shave or anything while you have. So it ripped, ground down all the hair from except for right here, but the rest of all of this was all ground down from rubbing against it. And it hurt so bad. But you know, if it wasn't for these two,
you got a baby face. You look like a baby face now.
Not bad for 62, huh?
Oh, he's still a baby. No? Oh, Yaki, he's the baby of the bunch.
No. Oh, yeah, he's the
our
baby.
Little Hito. You know? He's our little Hito.
That's a little chiquito.
He's from Sacktown, so you know, Diego Corrales' area.
Sacramento.
Guys,
nice to see you guys.
Yes.
Hey,
I love you guys.
Juanita, you got to say goodbye to us because you know what? We'll keep you here till midnight, even though Don says he has shows. Because he'll keep talking, and then we got to counter him.
But that's how family works, right? So we'll have to do this again sometime. I just want to say it was such an honor and a blessing to have you all here. You guys are my brothers. You're my martial arts family. And I thank God for bringing you guys across my path, because really it is a blessing to be surrounded by good, genuine people. And I don't really have a blood family. I have Kevin and our beautiful children. And the rest of my family is all the martial artists in the world, and that includes you guys. So I'm so excited. I would love to see you guys back at the next MAM Hall of Fame. And I can't wait to induct your little granddaughter one day, Stephen. And I'm so grateful that Don is fine after his operation. God is good. His surgery went well. He had 3% chance of making it through, and he's here with us, alive and well. We can laugh and smile together, and that is God's grace. And Yaki, I am so happy that Stephen and Don and Mauricio could have given you that belt. Henry, shout out to Henry as well. You deserve it, brother. You worked hard for it, and we are so, so proud of you. Thank you for being here. I know you wanted to go a few times, and Don kept you.
Thank you for letting me be here with you guys. I love it, and I hope it's not the last time. And see you guys soon.
See you at the next
Have
event.
a good night.
We're going to have a
Have a good
reunion
night.
at the next.
I love you guys.
One.
I
Bye
love
bye.
you too,
God bless
Yaki.
everybody. Bye bye.
Love
Take
you,
care,
Bye-bye,
Juanita,
guys.
our queen.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We love you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Stephen, did you enjoy having your friends here? They wanted to surprise you, and we
Oh,
thought
you
it was a
surprised
good
me with so
idea.
much conversation.
It has been such a blessing. We'll definitely have to recap. We'll have to bring on. I still want to get Bill on there. I want to get Nate on there. All the people that.
Oh my God, we need a 5-hour show, but I appreciate everything. Not really, that's too long, but I really appreciate everything, Juanita, and I'm
Thank you.
gonna pray that everything keeps going for your organization, and the blessings of God will be upon you, and Kevin, and children, and everybody. And we'll say prayers for our brother out there, for his son.
Amen.
And like I said, you guys are all family. And you seen my brothers there. I really appreciate them guys, and my Raylene and my family and my son, my partner Raul. And, we don't have very many people in life that we could say that are family, but we are all family. And I appreciate y'all.
All family.
And whatever we could do, you let me know. One way or another, we could figure out something.
Thank you so much, Stephen. God bless you and your family, and thank you for your time and for sharing your experiences and your life with the audience. And just keep shining out there. And
I got to shine. I got this big bad boy here, so
your trophy. It's looking so good.
If you look in my house, there's only maybe 2 other awards, but there's up there. That's it. All the other trophies and everything.
Yeah.
They're at the gym, or they're in a lockbox, big old.
Yeah.
But the ones that really mean something to me, they're here with me in my home, because
God bless
they
you.
touched my heart. Okay.
God bless
So I
you.
just wanted to let you know, and thank you again for everything. And God bless you and your family. And I'm going to say good night. God bless. Take care.
Good night, Stephen.
Give Kevin a big hug, and your son. Tell him he's some bad boy warriors.
Yeah. Bless you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Well, guys, what a wonderful show that was. It was time well spent. Isn't it amazing to see brothers together supporting each other, praying for each other, sharing wonderful experiences and life? Because this is how we do life. We have to be positive. All I saw was positivity. I saw friendship. I saw faith. And I saw a genuine love between brothers. And that is what we instill here at Meticulous Moments and at the MAM group. And all of these wonderful individuals, Yaki, Stephen, Don, that were on here, they are all MAM ambassadors. And they are shining their light out there. And I'm so super honored to have them and the other ambassadors on board. thank you so much for everything that you do in the world, not just for ma'am, not just for me, but for everybody else. And I just pray continuous blessing over everyone. It's very important to put good energy out in the world. And I try to explain it to my congregations and in the dojo when I teach. Those are not two different things. The energy that we share is not different from the light that we shine. It's one thing. So make sure every day when you get up in the morning, thank God for the wonderful day He's blessed you with. Thank you for the bed that you have to sleep in. Thank you for everything that He's putting in place for your life. Thank Him for your protection, and put out good energy. Make sure that when you speak to someone, you do it in a loving manner or a kind manner, because you don't know what someone's going through behind the scenes. And I want to thank God for family, martial arts family across the globe. Personally, my family structure changed in December 2023 when I met my fiance, Kevin Oliver. My family structure changed. It was myself and my children, Kayla and Joshua, two warriors, two kids that have been doing martial arts for almost 10 years. And it was me uniting my family with Kevin and his daughter Kimber here in the States. And we've been blending our families, we've been merging them, and God has just taken us on a wonderful journey. So I want to give a shout out to my beautiful family, my daughter who I miss dearly. She's in South Africa in Cape Town with her friend visiting family, her friend's family, and my son is here with us in Texas, and Kevin's daughter is also in Texas. And Kevin and I are working very, very hard behind the scenes. So much love going out to my family, Kevin and our children. Thank you for everything that you do, and keep shining out there, guys. Go to that person that is your special person and tell them you love them. Treat them in a kind manner. Give them kind words. Make sure to give them that hug and to support them in everything that they do, because God values every single person, every single destiny that He's put out in place. So if you want to follow Kevin also with what he does, go to stoppinggunviolence.com and stoppingfentanyl.com and see his movements. We are about to bring out a magazine as well, which we will put out on social media. It's going to be a good one. And until then, guys, make sure you connect with the Meticulous Moments audience. I'll see you guys in the next session. Bye.